Hey guys, you know what I use StreamYard? I always have to check to make sure that I'm on. Hi! Hey y'all. It's Thursday already, y'all. Hey guys, it's your girl Sherry Summer Bell. How are we doing today? Listen, I'm so excited to be back on with y'all. I'm checking my phone to make sure that I can hear myself and I'm good to go. And give me a one in the chat if you can hear me, and I'm good to go here. Today, we're going to be talking about growing your business with ease and flow while hitting your financial goal. Growing your business with ease and flow while hitting your financial goal. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And because y'all always hear me say, life is a flow, not a force, right? So I'm just checking make sure my volume is good. Good. That's it. That's all I wanted. Listen, if you can hear me, give me a one in the chat just to make sure that you can hear me. It feels good to be back home. I was in Atlanta for a few days. Shout out to Lamar and Monterey. We had an amazing time building content for social media and learning how to increase our visibility. Um, and I'm using this Facebook StreamYard, so you have to go into the setting and tell Facebook thank you or whatever, or approve it, whatever you got to do. But anyways, so I'm going to talk about growing your business with ease and flow. I'm going right into the details of it. Miss y'all. Hope all is well. Hope everything is good, good, good. If this is your first time catching me live, it's your girl Sherry Summer Bell, where I help women who are in the financial space. I help female business agency owners help them make consistent cash flow by working less, which is what we're going to talk about today. Working less. What, Sherry? Working less? What you talking about? What you talking about? So we're going to talk about that today. Yes, because in the financial space, we have female agency owners and they operate an agency and they want to work less, right? But still hit their revenue goal. Because sometimes people feel like when you say the word ease and flow, that means that you are talking that you're not making money, you're not making money moves. So but shout out to April Franks, but this was inspired by her as well. And we were having this conversation too in Atlanta. So I was here several times. So I said, let me go ahead and just clear this up. I'm glad to be home. Not traveling for a minute, so I'm good to be home. So when you hear the word ease and flow, tell me, what does that mean for you? And go ahead and comment below. When you hear the word ease and when you hear the word flow, comment below, what does that mean for you? What do you think when somebody say ease and flow? What does that mean? What comes to your mind? Is it lazy? Uh, is it too easy? What comes to your mind when you hear the word ease and flow? Because when I tell people that I help women who are financial agency owners make 6 and 7 figures and helping them in a way that they don't have to sacrifice their time and their energy, that's kind of scary to them. They're not used to hearing that. They're used to hearing earning the night oil and you got to get it done. That's what they're used to hearing. So I'm here to help you to be able to still boss up. Ain't nobody telling you how to boss up, but still be able to listen to your intuition and listen to your body and says, hey, you need a rest right here. So comment below. Tell me when you hear the word ease and flow, what does that mean for you? All right. Okay. Let me dive into what I'm getting ready to say. So growing a business can be a pain. Yes, there, I said it. I said it. It can be a pain, right? It can be a pain. I have a masterclass coming up that we're going to kind of help you to simplify the process of how to use social media to market your business. And even me creating the content for that. And if that's something that you need, just send me in the chat. We'll make sure that you have a link to that that's coming out. We haven't started advertising that yet or promoting that yet. But even me coming up with the content for that, it was kind of like, listen, this is a lot of stuff, right? It's a lot of stuff. So because we have been conditioned that we have to do things hard or we're not working. We have to. I remember working at a YMCA when I was in college. Shout out to USF, University of South Florida. People in the house, home of the Bulls in Tampa, Florida. And I was working at YMCA. I think that was like my first real job. And I remember the director of that YMCA, he would sleep at the Y to get his work done. He would be the first one in, last one out, and he would literally sleep at the Y. And if you call him and said, hey, I need your help with XYZ, he's like, no, can you get somebody else to help because I'm busy doing this or I'm busy doing that. And I'm like, my God. So his kids will come to the Y and play by himself while the Y is closed. And I'm like, who in the world work that much? Like I used to be like, oh my God, like is that the amount of time I need to put in? Like who works that much? And to me, looking at that as an example of his work ethics, I'm like, dude, like really? I'm like, what is your wife saying? You at work with the kids at the YMCA working that much. And I'm in college and I'm like, I would not want to do that. Or looking at him like, is that dedication? Is that what dedication look like? Like if I'm not working overtime or if I'm not working, but that was the stigma. And most of the times him and the other staff didn't get along because it's like he was putting in more work than I remember one time there was an injury at the pool and he wouldn't even get up to make sure that the customer or the clients that we had coming into the YMCA was okay. And I remember telling him to say, hey, we had an injury at the pool. And he was telling me to find somebody else to help him. Find someone else to help. And I'm like, what? Like, you're not that busy. Like, you're not that, so he should have taken this video. He should have taken this ease and flow video. Okay. So I'm telling you the story because society, as an example of that, has conditioned our mind that we have to be working like a dog every single day to be able to attract the abundance and prosperity lifestyle. Because I buy into it, especially my culture, right? Especially my island culture. We have to work 5 and 6 jobs in order to have that abundant lifestyle. And therefore, that means we're missing out on so many stuff. We're missing out on family time. We're missing out on certain things with our family, and because we have to be conditioned to go above and beyond. And that was me. That was literally me. So then you're not reaping the benefits of that because your family don't see you, right? They don't get to see you. They don't get to spend time with you. So the reason I want to have this conversation is there really possible for you to be able to eliminate all that stress of getting things done so you can reach your financial goal? Is that possible? Is that possible that you can still get your sleep, get your beauty rest, and still be able to reach the revenue goal that you have? That's the questions of today. And the answer for me is very clear. Yes, you can. Yes, you 100% can. You can still reach the goal that you want to reach and still be able to spend that time with that family. Because and inside of the insurance world, like if you're not calling 100 people a day, it's like you didn't do anything. Like you didn't do anything. Like I remember talking to a friend of mine, and I know he's gonna watch this, so I can't say his name. And I'm like, dude, it's Saturday. Like, what are you doing? Oh, I got 5 calls I need to make. And I'm like, really? Like it's Saturday. Like you really sitting at home on Zoom calling somebody. Like, I don't want that. So I was, oh my gosh, I was big on, before even in the insurance space, I was big on like, I'm not signing up for that. Like that's not what I want. And it doesn't mean that you don't believe in working hard. It's none of that stuff. I just know that I work so I could maintain what I have, not work. So it's backwards, right? So we think we're working, and the reason why we're working is because we want to be able to have something. But if you're working so hard, you won't have what you have, right? You won't be able to enjoy that TV that you just bought on Black Friday, and you won't be able to enjoy the house that you remember. Our parents used to have that living room that nobody sit in. Am I the only one that had a parent that is a living room that you're just supposed to look at it and don't sit in it? How many of y'all had that? How many of you had parents like that? They had a living room that it was all decor, decorated, and no one's supposed to sit in that room. Give me a high five in the chat if that was you. If you had a parent that had that, because I had one of those. Monica is a clean and neat freak. That is my mother, and she had a living room that no one's supposed to sit in. Like and now it's completely different, right? It still had the plastic on it. Y'all don't talk about. I mean, some of y'all parents' house, I know y'all had that, right? So they had the plastic still on there, and you're like, who would buy something for people just to look at it? Like, why? Just keep it in the store. Right? my brother would just come and just jump on it just to make her mad, right? So who would buy something that, but that's how we were conditioned. Like you work hard, you buy this thing, and nobody's supposed to touch it but you, right? So you're working hard to get this thing for just to sit in the house, right? Right? And it's still got plastic on it, it's still brand new, like it just left the store, right? So who worked that hard? Who does that? But that's us. That's how our society was told. Like it's just gonna be like a showroom. Nobody touches showroom because it's just a showroom, right? And I'm like, no, life is about enjoying things and being a part of things. So what I always tell my clients to do, I said, always figure out what is your lifestyle, like what is the thing that you enjoy doing, right? Write that down. And I want to challenge you today to do that. Write it down. If you're just joining me, we're talking about growing your business with ease and flow while still hitting your financial goal, right? That's the part we got to put in there, and write that thing down. Then really examine what that thing looked like on a monthly basis. So, like if you like going out to eat, like I do, love going out to eat, like I do. If you're a foodie like me, like you're gonna write that down and say, okay, well, how much does it cost to do that? Where I'm not under pressure, where my bills are still getting paid. If you like to travel, I don't say I like to travel, but part of my business is traveling. So there you go. Right, I do enjoy traveling, but I'm changing that and trying to travel more for work, more than it's just traveling. I mean, traveling more for fun more than just always work all the time. So yeah, I need to get in that. So I'm like, anybody want to take me somewhere with y'all? Let me know, because my traveling is always work. So yeah, so with that being said, when you write those things down, then the first thing I always tell people is to put a number, put a financial number next to that, whatever that thing is. Thank you, Kate, for putting one in the chat. I appreciate that. When you find that number, so you like it, your lifestyle, what you like to get your nails done, you like to travel, ladies or guys, or whatever you like to do. Then you put a number figure and you say, okay, what is this number figure that helped me to live the lifestyle that I love to live, right? What is that number figure? What does that look like? So you put that number figure, whatever that is for you, you put that away, because that's what your goal is, period. That's what you're aiming for. That's what your goal is. That's what you're heading for. So it's not going beyond that. It's really thinking about this is my goal. Now, let me tell you about this goal. Whatever that number is, and it should scare you to where you're like, what the heck, right? So whatever that goal is, and whatever your goal is, double it. Because sometimes we tend to put a goal that is less than what we're thinking. So whatever your goal is, but we just kind of, what if I don't reach it? So we'll just, whatever your revenue goal is to live the lifestyle that you truly want to live in this season, go ahead and write it in the chat right now. I want to be able to see it with you. I want to be able to examine it, see it with you. So go ahead and write it in the chat right now. What is that goal, that financial goal that allows you to live the lifestyle you want to live? All right. Now that you have that goal, that was fast, right? That was fast. All right. So now that you have that goal, you already set it, because we're talking about ease and flow right now, right? So now that you set that goal, now your entire business is around reaching that goal every month. So when you wake up, every revenue activity that you do is towards that particular goal. So we're going to talk about posting on social media and all that, but inside of my masterclass I have coming up in a few days. But right now, so when you post on social media or when you do revenue activity, it's all towards that goal, because that goal help you to live the freedom and create memories with your family. So when you wake up, you know the financial goal that you're going after. Now, Sherry, where do I start with getting that goal? Here, I love that part. Thank you for asking. And if you already wrote the goal down, say, yes, I did. Yes, I did in the chat. Yes, I did in the chat. Okay. Even if you're catching me in a replay, right? Yes, I did. You got your goal. No, you got your lifestyle. Then you have your goal. And then you write that down. Because I do believe in the power of writing your goals down. I was at Couch to Podium the other day. Shout out to Dr. Laura Lewis. And we were talking about having to rewrite our goals, because we had some things that we had already accomplished on the list. So we had to rewrite those goals. So we had to go rewrite them, which is a good thing. When you say you have to rewrite a goal because you've already received the goal that you have put out for yourself, that's a blessing. So, anywho, with that being said, we had to rewrite the goal. So we went ahead and rewrite the goal. Now that we did that, now that we went ahead and we rewrote the goal, we had some more goals that we had wanted to achieve. So we went ahead and write it down. So this is the power of writing your goals down. Now we don't not just going to write it down and look at it. That's what y'all do every day. Like write it down, look at it, forget that you wrote it down. No, that's your aim. And every day, every single day that God sent on this, and you have breath in your body, this is a goal that helps you to create memories with your family. This is a goal that help you to not look at your bank account before paying for the mortgage or pay for the car payment. This is a goal that help you to help your family to see things that they would naturally see if it weren't for you. When you wake up and you're working on your business or you're working on your self-development, this goal will help you to spread your whatever the thing that you do in your industry, right? So in our team, we literally work on helping women in the insurance space and financial space. We really help them build a profitable agency, a profitable empire, right? And so we take their insurance agency, build that profitable agency, but doing it in a way where they can work less so they can create more memories with their family. So that's what we do inside the insurance space. So with that being said, then when we have the goal, and this is what we tell our clients, when you have your goal, you have your goal in mind, and you have your number, right? Because if your number needs to adjust, you need to adjust it. I think sometimes some of us are not clear on our number, right? So anything that is not in alignment, anything that is not in ease with that number, you have to say no to. So whenever I get requests or whenever my team get requests for me to speak or do a podcast, we ask a series of questions to see is it in alignment with the goal? Because if it's not, then we already know the answer. Like the answer is no, we can't do it, right? Not that we don't want to do it, it just is not in alignment and it's going to set us back in our goals that we have for ourselves. Does that make sense? Give me a yes, yes. That makes sense. So some of you saying yes to certain things, that's going to cost you more time and use up more time and use up more energy than had you just said no in the first place. Woo! That's going to help somebody today, right? That's going to help somebody today, right? So I remember when I was traveling a whole lot. I'm like, okay, I really got to cut back on where I go because it's not the ROI or the ROO, return on opportunity, is not making sense. So I have to really segment, where do I want to be, where do I want to go, and so on and so forth. So that's what I mean by getting clear, because some of you guys don't have a number. Every time I go somewhere and I ask somebody to do this strategy, just writing down what your revenue goal is, everybody say 10K. Like it's just this number. Where did you come up with it? I don't know. Like where did you come up with 10K? Like it's just their number, right? So that means they didn't really sit down and says, hey, this is what. And my husband and I was talking about the other day because he was talking about there was this issue with 50 Cent on his son. We're talking about celebrities right now, right? But it's 50 Cent and his son. And his son was like, hey, I can't live off $6,000 a month. Like I just can't. I just can't. $6,000 a month is not enough for me to live off. And there was an issue with 50 and his son. And so he and I had a conversation. Can you live off $6,000 a month? And I want to know in the chat, can you live off $6,000 a month? If you had to have $6,000 for the rest of your life, can you live off of that? Can you enjoy ease and flow with having $6,000 a month? Do you think that's a good number? And I mean, not just your age now, but when you get older, is that still a good number for you with inflation and everything that's going on? Is it a good number for you, right? So me now, so I told him no. I was like, no. Okay. He's like, you can't live off 6. I was like, no, I can't. I literally can't. I just cannot. If I have to, okay, that's different. But not a God I serve. He told me everything. He told me a cattle on 1,000 hills belongs to him. So whatever I say, I can have, right? So we were debating back and forth about can you live off of that number? And the reason I'm having that conversation is because that's why it's so important to have the number clear in your head in this season. I keep stressing this season because your life is going to change. When you get experience and exposure to things, then your life is going to change. Had you asked me that when I was working at the sheriff's office, that would have been a different story, right? But when I took my life in my own hands, that number changed. So had you asked me that when I left my 42K job, had you asked me that when I was working in the law enforcement, had you asked me that when I was working in corrections, had you asked me that, that number would have changed. Right? It would change a little bit. But now that I have been places and seen things, and I've flew in jets and speak at different, so now that I've seen things, like, hold up, because of the plans I have for my family and my family around me, and my these philanthropy things that I'm in, I'm like, no, 6K is not enough for me. And he's like, he's looking at me like, girl, you're crazy. But my vision of helping my community and helping my country and is so big that it won't, and still be able to maintain the lifestyle I want to maintain, right? So how do you get that ease and flow while still hitting your financial goals? Is number one, I just said it. Number one, making sure that you have a clear number of what that number looks like for you. Now, if you just made 25,000 last year, that don't mean your number should be 90,000, right? You're just being realistic of that goal. So now, what does that mean? This is the good stuff, y'all. I'm getting to the good part. This is a good part, right? This is the good part. So now that you get clear, because I think the hardest thing is getting clear on what that number is. And that's because you're not clear, is why you don't have ease and flow. Is why you don't have ease and flow. And April was talking about that and I'm like, that is so true. Like, because you're not clear. When I got clear on who I was going to help with growing their business and what my industry is going to be, of course, in the insurance space and the financial space, when I got clear on that and who I was going to be able to shift their belief system and their mindset, when I got clear on who I am called to serve in this moment, in this season, everything else changes for me. Everything else changed. And I think the reason why you're having so much confusion and having so much issues because you're comfortable with the now, you're not comfortable with the unknown. So even though you know that things need to change in your life, you're afraid of what you don't know, but you know what you know. You okay with your crazy. Like, you know the crazy over here, you don't know the crazy over there if you change. Oh, Jesus. All right. So we it's like being in a relationship that you know is not good for you, but you don't want to get out because you know how this is, but you don't know getting out how it's going to be on your own. So, and that's why people stay in relationships, jobs, issue. And me, I'm like, okay, listen, the grass got to be green on the sign because I'm going to paint it. I'm going to paint it. Yeah. Anyway, so, and it was greener, right? I got a ring to prove it. But the point I'm trying to make is that because we are afraid of the unknown, because we don't, our faith is not strengthened, right? Because ease and flow require you to trust yourself and trust a power that's greater than you, right? To say, hey, it's going to happen. You don't know when, you don't know how it's going to happen. And I think trusting that power that's greater than you is hard, right? It's hard. You have to be able to have self-development to be able to do that. How many of y'all are struggling with in that area, right? Really believing in yourself and really trusting yourself that I can have this revenue number that I just put down on this paper, right? That is where the problem comes in. I can get to number two if you're not even believing that it is possible. So you have a number and you know that number is this is the number I need to hit in order for me to create memories with my family, in order for me to do the philanthropy work, in order for me to have money to be able to pay for if something go wrong with my family. So that's it. You're not even trying to, some people it's not even $1 million. It's just more about having that safety net in case the car breaks down, right? Listen, car problems are my worst. I might be on a like car problem. I'm like, just throw it a car. When I'm trying to go somewhere, I'm trying to go. Okay, I am trying to go. Car problem. How many of y'all with this car problem? Y'all just ready to throw that car out the door and get another car? Like, listen, I want a peace of mind when I'm traveling. Like, car problems, the tires, the engine. It just, you know, so having that number to say if something goes wrong, you can go buy a car and you just keep going. It's not that you're not going to have problems, but having problems and having a solution for that problem. I was at the hotel this past weekend and it was like, oh, this thing doesn't work or your code doesn't work. And I say, whatever it is, just I'll pay for it. Because it just having an option to say, I'll pay for it. I don't have time. I'm tired. I just need to get in my room. So just having the option to be able to do that is a blessing. So that's why it's important to get clear on what your revenue goal is. So when you can know what you're going after, so you can have the ease and flow. Come on, people. Come on with me. Come on with me, Tracy. Come on with me, Yolanda. Come on with me, Kate. Right? So you can have the ease and flow. Come on, Janae. You can have the ease and flow. Right? So not having a number, Yolanda, stop you from moving forward. So the confusion is not getting clear on what the number is, right? So number one. So let's say we're clear. That was number one. See how long I took on number one? Because that's the hardest part. We don't know what number we're chasing. I wouldn't say chasing because I don't like that word. We don't know what number we're trying to achieve financially to be able to live within that mean or live within that scope. So we can do the things that we want to do in our life and live the lives that we want to live. So when we get clear on that number, and again, it changes based on your eyes being open to certain things, right? Hanging out with Cody don't change my mind. I'm like, well, I gotta up my number. Shout out to Cody. So then after you have your number, right? After you're clear, like I sat down, I look at my budget, I look at what I make, I look at what I like to do. I look at my Starbucks that I like to get every month. I look at all of that. I look at my life insurance. Got to make sure you have that part of your budgeting system. I look at all of that. I look at all my finances. Look at all my overhead. This is the amount that I need to make in order to be able to live the life where I feel of a peace of mind and maintain that life, right? Whew. So you got that number and you include insurance inside of that number, right? Because we ain't doing GoFundMe over here. So we include insurance inside that number. And these are the same strategy that I teach my clients too. So when you got that number. So now the second thing is, okay, Sherry, I'm glad I have the number. Then how do I get to the, what do I do? What do I do? It's like what you're asking me, like, what do I do? Thank you for the number. But what do I do? All right. So we're going to get to that. So when you have that number, and I'm saying that number over and over because some of you take so long to find that number because you don't know what the number looks like. And the reason we don't know that number looks like, we need to live a little bit. That I think we need to experience some stuff to say, oh, I like that. Like, what? I like that. I like that. Like when I go to Jamaica, I can tell you my hotel. I can tell you where I want to stay. I can tell you all this stuff because I've had experience to be able to say, this is what I like and this is what I don't like. Okay. So now that you have the number, now we can go back to our ease and flow because now we know where we're heading to. So every day you wake up and you're creating activities to help you get that number. And let's say you try creating revenue activity within your existing business to help you achieve that number, right? Let's say you try that and it doesn't work. Well, what do? You do it again. You do it again. And you don't move from that number. You may shift the strategy of how to get to that revenue goal, but you never change your goal until you get to that goal. So you give yourself 1,000 chances to start over until you get to that goal, until it clicks. Oh, this is so good. And I hope y'all are not missing this. And if you're going to catch a replay, say hashtag replay as well. But you keep going until you get to that number. So you try something, this didn't work, let me try something else. It's still a goal. You still got the number because remember, you need that number in order to live the lifestyle you want to live. So you try something else. So you give yourself permission to start over each time in different areas until you reach the number. Now, start over doesn't mean that you completely change direction of where you're heading or change industry or whatever, because that's what we love to do. No, start over just mean like, okay, I did this and that didn't work. So I'm going to change something out of this so it can work. Right? I did that. And that's exactly what I did, y'all. That's exactly what I did. I never changed the goal. I just keep changing the strategy until something fits. And then when something fits, I came back and told my clients inside of my Joyful Tribe Builder Academy how I did it. And so they can do it too, right? So I literally through trial and error, right? And I want to say that because a lot of people don't understand that. I never change and say, oh, this is not working. Let me go over here and sell this, or this is not working. Let me go over here and do this. I literally sat down and said, it has to work because I'm not doing anything else. Like this has to work. And then I went to places that was inside of the same industry as me to find out how they were doing it. And when I found out that, hey, they're doing exactly how I'm doing it, so I just need to keep going until I can hit that revenue number. And then when I can do that number twice, 3, 4 times over, then I increase my number. See, because you're so hyper focused on that number and doing one strategy to hit that number and then try and testing, you don't have time to be off focus. There are times you may have to take a break, because what I'm seeing sometimes is the reason why you don't have that ease and flow to hit your financial goal is because we get shiny object syndrome, right? We listen to 10 different people. That's number 2. So we have shiny object syndrome where we just want to hop on the next new shiny thing. So because we're hopping on next new shiny thing, when we do that, what happened now is we got our focus from our ease and flow because we want to try something new. But trying something new is not starting over. Trying something new is, when I mean start over, I mean from the thing you have already done, you're just going to do better at it, right? You're just going to do better at it and better at it. It may be a webinar, it may be posting, it may be live, whatever it may be, that the revenue activity that you do, you just keep doing it so you can become better at that thing. That's the whole goal of it. The whole goal. Well, this is so good. So good. It's so good. That means you jump out and try something else. You just figure out another way. You give yourself patience to restart in that same space over and over till you get it right, because it's going to click. And when it started clicking for me, I'm like, oh, okay. So this is what I need to do. This is how I need to market my business to generate my ideal client. This is what I need to do. This is where I need to, this is the message I need to say. This is what I need to do. And I said, oh, this it's just like when you're doing Facebook ads, right? If Emma has run ads before, you don't change all of it. You just change certain amount of the thing, right? Okay, does this image work or this image work? And you figure out which image worked the best, right? And when you find the image that works for you, you stop doing the other images, keep using the one that work. So because our focus is divided sometimes, it stops the ease and flow of us hitting our financial goals. But the truth of the matter is, if we stay on course, well, you can end up to that financial goal that you just wrote down faster. You can, it's like when I tell people about, hey, I built my entire agency using social media. And they're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna try that. And then you're like, okay, this is what you do. And then like, oh, I tried it, it didn't work. Like, how long did you try it? You don't have enough data to say it didn't work. You don't have enough data to say it didn't work. Like, you didn't have enough data. No, you have tried this and you tried it for a certain amount of time. If that don't work, then you try another thing or within the same thing, right? Within the same thing, like say, let's say you go live at 6 o'clock, nobody's here. Then okay, let's go live at 12 o'clock. See, try the data to see if it works. And don't just throw the baby with the bathwater out there, and then you're really starting from scratch, right? And then you're frustrated and you're having issues, and they're going to ease and they're going to flow. But that's not what caused it. You just decided to give up too easy. That's number one. But number two, you got confused because you're in your mind and other people's in your mind. So you can't do that. You got to literally learn how to shift, bounce back, change direction. You got to know how to do all of that, but do it in a way that is simultaneously to your goal. And when you learn to remain focused, because that's the hardest thing for people to do, is to remain focused. They may hire the coach. Your coach may give them a strategy, and they want to do their own thing, or they come back to. I have some of those clients, right? But as a coach, I'm patient till they get it, till they figure out the ease and flow, right? That's part of it. So when I decided to say, when I made a commitment to myself to say, I'm going to do this because I know that there are people out there that needs my help in building their agency. There's a female out there that is working the night oil and trying to do all these policies and trying to write all these insurance policies and these and not getting them any sleep and not taking care of themselves. So I have to be the advocate that step in and says, hey, I'm gonna help you grow your empire. And I'm gonna show you how you can do it. I'm gonna show you how you can make your consistent cash flow without sacrificing your soul. I'm going to be the one to show you this because I was you. Right? I was you. And then when you get it, and that but it's going to require you to what? Stay focused. See, we can change the way how we get to the goal, but we don't change the goal. We don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, that so to speak. Right? And that's what I did. That's exactly what I did. And that's exactly what I did. And then when I would hear people say, oh no, do this, and over here I'm like, well, this work. And I'm telling you, work, and I'm giving you the tools. Matter of fact, I'm going to be giving some of y'all the tools in my upcoming masterclass. And make sure if you want to sign up, it's free for my masterclass. Make sure it's, I think I'm going to drop the link tomorrow. So if you want to sign up for it, go ahead and put me in the chat. We'll make sure that we send the link over to you. But when they're giving you the tools that you're asking for to help, and you're not working it enough to have enough data, like I'm just changing out what I've been doing just because I have enough data now that I can change it. I know this is too deep for some of y'all, right? If you're just joining, we're talking about growing your business with ease and flow while still hitting your financial goal. So the reason why you're confused and the reason why you're having anxiety and panic attacks is because you're doing too much. Doing too much. You're doing too much. Go back to the basic. Go back to I have a mindset thing inside of one of my portals. And I always tell inside of the video, I said, come back to this spot when you get confused. Because this spot is going to remind you why you're doing it. And this spot is where you're going to have to reshape or rethink your mind, rewire your mind so you can start again. You know what I'm saying? You're going to fill up with gas and go start again, right? But anyways, I got to jump off. But I just want to show you how you can grow your business with ease and flow. Number one, be able to get clear on what your lifestyle is. Number two, what is the revenue number that go with that lifestyle? And number three, what is the strategy you're using to attract that, to be able to get that revenue goal? What is that thing that you're doing? What is the revenue activity that you're doing to be able to get that revenue goal? All right. That's all I got for y'all today. But tomorrow, what time are we going to drop it? We're going to be able to drop our masterclass so you guys can sign up for the masterclass. And if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and put me in the chat so we can drop it off to you. All right, guys. Let me see if I have any questions before I jump off. That's all I got for y'all today. It's your girl, Sherry Somerville. Talk to y'all later.